up, guys? What is up, and welcome back to our mod showcase series for this lovely game known as ARK Survival Evolved. Oh, hello, Mr. Turtle. Where are you coming from? Anyways, you might be thinking to yourself, Star, what mod could you possibly have in store for us today? Well, it's quite the large mod when you think about it. It's not the Dodo Rex, it's what's behind the Dodo Rex. A floating rock! It's not actually a floating rock. This is one of the Pandora Isles. There's another one, I believe, behind that mountain that you can kind of make out. And yeah, so you might be thinking to yourself, Star, why are you showing us a mod with gigantic floating rocks? Who cares about gigantic floating rocks? I'll tell you who cares. You're gonna care after I explain why you should care. Because these aren't just any floating rocks. These are the Pandora Isles, aka floating rocks that you can build upon. Oh, look at that, another floating rock. I know, everyone's favorite. So, what happened? Wait, why am I naked? When did I become naked? What the? What? Okay. I don't remember being this naked. Thought I had something on. Oh, it was my all my stormtrooper stuff. I guess that mod broke or something, unfortunately. But anyways, you might be pretty much what happened is recently in the ARK dev kits or the mod kit or whatever it's called. I think I was reading up on this somewhere. I might be completely wrong when I'm saying this, so take this with like a grain of salt with what I'm saying. But I believe that they recently added in something where mods don't have to do total conversions. So like before, I think if you wanted to do a new map, you had to design the entire map or something, like the Valhalla Isles or whatever. I'm gonna also do infinite stats before we freeze to death. But recently, I think they changed that, so now you can actually add things to the current ARK map, and this is one of the things that have been added. Gigantic floating rocks, aka the Pandora Isles. And these aren't just any gigantic floating rocks, because you can literally build upon them, you can land upon them, you can do anything upon them. So if anything, what these things become is an end game safe haven when you think about it, because, you know, not anyone can just get up here. This is something you have to have a flying bird to get up here. It's pretty insane, right? So it's a Pandora Isle, and you need to be able to, what is it, fly to get up here. And it's pretty awesome for endgame stuff, because when you think about it, you could build bases up here, do all that type of stuff, and it's just really cool. This is the first mod, at least I've seen, where it adds on to the current ARK map. I think there were a couple other ones that like add on islands that may have come before it, but this is really cool because it just completely added floating rocks. And that's a very interesting dynamic because, you know, with the high level people can now fly up here, build a base, be safe from noobs entirely. And when you think about it, if the two strongest tribes, what if each of them control one of these rocks? Can you imagine that? Gigantic, just like flying wars. That's actually insane to think of, and actually a pretty cool scenario and a pretty cool potential use for this mod. So this mod is in a state where I'm pretty sure you can install it on dedicated servers and everything. You should be good. You're capable of building on this and everything, so you can build a base, all that jazz. And it just allows for some very, very cool stuff, because like kind of that scenario I was talking about, well, if the two strongest tribes, each one of them takes on a rock, and you know, sometimes you just see birds flying between bases and having like a huge aerial war. The thing is, they're pretty far apart, to be fair, so you can't exactly snipe people, and this might take a while to actually fly over there. Jesus Christ. I'm going to very quickly, let's up the fuck out of my movement speed and try to be as quick as possible. But I might have to do a little bit of editing here. But in the meantime, before I edit it, I did just want to talk about it. So does it show up on the map, actually? It does not show up on the map, but the approximate location is, if you see where my current location is, which you don't, well, it's pretty much going to be above the river. Kind of. Okay, so if you look at, I'd have to say the island's at 30 longitude, 50 latitude, around that area. And by the looks of it, the second island is going to be 60 longitude, 50 latitude. But I will tell you guys once I actually get there. Like I mentioned, it is a little bit of a hike away. Definitely a good little flight. But it allows for plenty of potential. You could install this on your single player world, mess around with it, build a flying base. I don't know if creatures spawn up here. If they did, I'm not sure what would. I think it might be simply for building. You know, don't quote me on that, but I don't think there's any animal spawns. A modder might potentially be able to change this mod and enable animals to spawn up there, so you could get like saber-tooths up in the snowy, because it looks snowy and kind of mountainous, so you get like some mountain animals like Argentavis is flying around, which would kind of make sense. It's like an Argentavis nest up in these rocks. The Quetzals, there's a lot of cool potential, and I can't wait to see where this mod goes and what they do, although I think it might just be 2 giant floating rocks. Who knows? But I can't wait to see it potentially, and maybe some other people mess around with it and change that and have it so, like, you know, it's like sprawling with pteranodons, Quetzals, all this flying stuff. Maybe like there's some stuff, or some like saber-tooths, Argentavises, just like vicious land mammals, maybe even dire wolves up here. Although, when it comes to the ecology, that wouldn't really make sense, because what would they eat up here? There's not really much to scavenge, so who knows. But I mean, birds, you know, would be a good little bird's nest to have a bunch of birds up here. And that way, you can't just fly up here and make a base. You kind of have to defeat some of the hostile Argentavises that would be here and protecting their land. And here we are, so as you can see, you can get a general idea of how far away things are. I'm going to very quickly, before my Quetzal runs out of stamina, go away, but that was like a couple minutes on a 140% movement speed Quetzal. And we have arrived, and looking at the approximate area, it is, I want to say, pretty close to the fork in the road at the end of the island. So about 60-50. It's actually right about there now that I think about it. So I think they're the exact same latitude. Don't quote me on that, but they might very well be. No, it looks like it's a pretty goddamn straight line. That they might be the same latitude indeed. Anyways, latitude or longitude? I think it's latitude I'm thinking of. And then you can just go on ahead, perch yourself up here, and just adds plenty of potential. Like I said, I think you can add this to whatever server you're running. It just adds another dynamic, so strong tribes could be up here, and you know, the little small tribe just beginning out can't really challenge these guys, so it makes it insane. But I can just imagine like the flying, like the Quetzals, the insane Quetzals you would have to have fly up here just to conquer this place. Flying islands, man, just adds a very cool dynamic, and I actually really like what they did with this mod. And like I said, I think it's very cool. Link will be down below in case you guys want to check it out, mess around with it on your own, potentially add it onto whatever server you may have. And, you know, very cool. Although, if you do make a base up here, there ain't no food, so you better have a food supply of some sort. You could always jump down, but and maybe build a giant ladder. Yeah. Actually, I wonder if you could do that. You probably could. I'm not sure how good of an idea it'd be, but you probably could now that I think about it. Giant space ladder. Anyways, I think that's about going to do it for me. I'm not sure what else to talk about with this mod. I just kind of wanted to talk about what it does. 2 giant islands that are floating, added to the level. The dynamic it can add to servers and whatnot. And the fact that you can get it at the link down below in case you do want it. So I just want to kind of talk about some of that stuff. I'll let you guys know to the max. But these are the 2 islands. This one's right by the green obelisk. Other one is pretty close to the red one. I think that's the red one. I don't know, because they're like constantly changing the goddamn colors on these obelisks. So I'd never remember which one. The east obelisk, the southwest one, and the north one. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what it is. But anyways, yeah, that about covers the mod. A lot of cool potential just because strong tribes can build up here. And I can imagine like just armies of Quetzals flying from one base to another. Like 20v20 clan war where you got 20 Quetzals flying in, anti-air on the other island. This just adds such a cool dynamic. Just because, and imagine like being a little lonely tribe member or just like fresh spawn on the ground and seeing that shit above you and being like, holy shit, I do not want to mess with those people. But yeah, that's going to go and do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching the video as always. Make sure to, in the comments down below, let me know what you think of the mod. If you like it, if you did like it, make sure to hit that like button and let me know. And let me know what other future mods you might want me to check out. I'm always open to those in case I ever run out of ideas, because I don't like run out of ideas because that means no videos, and I like making videos for you guys that are cool. So yay! But just let me know in the comments if there's anything else you might want me to check out. Usually I just scour the news section of the Steam Workshop to see what they have there, and this was one of the more popular ones of the last week. It actually has 128 ratings, so it's quite popular. So yeah, that's usually how I find them. But if you guys have cool ones in the comments, I will always be sure to check those out. But other than that, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching the video as always, and hopefully I'll see you next one.